Last time on Four for Soaring.
We continued our series on Playing the Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. This is the 5th video in that series of quick tips based on what you wanted to see. We talked about worthy rivals and what that looks like, and I challenged you to find and decide who to chase as your worthy rival. We talked about what a worthy rival is like and how they make us better and keep us from falling into the competitive trap of a simple, ego-driven competition in a zero-sum finite game. Today, we'll talk about the 4th of 5 essential practices for cultivating an infinite mindset. That 4th practice is existential flexibility. And as a reminder, the other 4 are advancing a just cause, building trusting teams, studying worthy rivals, and demonstrating courage to lead. Well, what does existential flexibility look like? And what happens when we lose sight of our just cause and stop being existentially flexible? Well, Sinek talks about how existential flexibility is making a profound 180-degree strategic flex or shift in order to better advance your just cause. Sinek says existential flexibility is not just daily flexibility or a simple pivot. Instead, what Sinek talks about is the fact that existential flexibility is making that profound 180-degree strategic flex or shift. And so what that reminds us of are stories like Kodak or Blockbuster. If we think about today, and the fact that we have these handheld digital cameras built into our phones, and that is how we video things. That is how we take video and still pictures as well. Well, back in the day, there was a huge conglomerate called Kodak. It's where photography actually got its start, capturing film and video. And at a certain point in time, they lost sight of their just cause. You know, their founder, Sinek talks about how their founder really wanted to put photography in the hands of the everyday person and allow someone to capture the moments and the memories of their lives. And somewhere along the way, even though they invented digital technology, they did not share that because they had such a huge investment in the photographic paper and the chemicals that were used to create still photograph prints and things of that nature. And so they lost sight of their just cause. The same thing happened with a company called Blockbuster that used to provide video. And that company also lost sight of its just cause, delivering that entertainment to people when streaming came along, when Netflix came along and its subscription service then beat out Blockbuster and its standing stores where it rented videos and DVDs instead of getting into the streaming business like Netflix did and the subscription business like Netflix and Redbox did. And so those two huge companies lost sight of their just cause. And those are corporations. But what happens when there's a person who's stuck, when that person can't be existential flexibility, when that person loses sight of their just cause? And I was in great danger of this not too long ago at my work. I was in that period of peak performance, and I was talking to you a little bit about this when I shared about trusting teams in one of the previous episodes. This was a great opportunity where I was taking all of my skills, and I was using those to encourage and share with others how to move projects along, how to run the business that I'm in the HR world. And had a couple of great years of that. And then all of a sudden, our entire org was realigned, and I was moved, and I was asked to not only take on a new job and a new task, but I was asked to unravel a lot of what I'd spent a couple of years building along with my teammates. And that was really tough. And it really called for me to practice existential flexibility. And so what I had to do was remember, what is my just cause? What is that common thread that I could carry through any situation or any job or task or role that I was given? And I had to recenter on serving others. I had to recenter on encouraging others and letting that be my core purpose. Even if my role had changed, even if my assignment had changed, I had to stick to that piece of my existential flexibility. And so that has carried me through. I've even carried it through with videos like this, the vlog, and all of my other content that's out there. So this is the common thread that I keep no matter what job, role, or assignment, no matter what I do on the outside, whether it's serving my community or serving you in a video like this. So one of the other things I wanted to share is that I know more than one person who was at their peak or on the fast track to work success. Maybe they were going to be an executive in one case, or make a flag officer, but in each case they had the potential to engage in a very finite game that they were being asked to play, but at some point a just cause trumped their temptation to engage in that sort of game. They had to answer an existential question about what their just cause was and whether playing that finite game would lead them away like it did Kodak or Blockbuster. So that's why we come back to the fact that Sinek says existential flexibility is making a profound 180-degree strategic flex or shift in order to better advance their just cause. In a lot of these folks' cases where they were on that fast track to the executive ranks, they made a profound shift and decided, no, I'm going to stay at this level instead, or I'm going to stop pursuing that particular thing, or I'm going to shift and focus more on my family. So in all cases, whether they stick with it, they move up those ranks or whatever, the important part is that they keep their eye on their just cause so that they can practice existential flexibility. I know one person that moved from being a VP in a corporation to being a VP in a nonprofit. Kept many of the same skills, uses those skills every day, but now has more fulfillment because she's sticking closer to her just cause. So again, it's not daily flexibility. It's not a simple step to the side or a pivot, but it's really making a profound shift, but sticking with that just cause. And so here's your homework for this week. I want you to return to your just cause. I want you to reaffirm and make that the foundation of your existential flexibility. And I want you to reflect. Decide what finite-minded things are distracting you from zooming out to that bigger picture of the just cause, and how you might want to either make or be prepared to make a profound 180-degree strategic flex or pivot. I invite you into the greater community, into our just cause here of mopping up the messiness. I invite you to subscribe, comment, join, use 4 for soaring in your search, FOUR, the number 4, SOARING, and also look for us out on Linktree. Look at 4 for soaring, FOUR, SOARING. Thank you so much. I want to see you mop up the messiness in your leadership in your life, and I want to see you soar.